You have the MKC report in front of you there. You might want to get in front of you there to read this off because I know you read something before the show, and I'm setting you up in a bad spot here because I did want to bring up. Did you happen to notice? I didn't. I saw the camera cut to her once with about 6 and change left before the touchdown pass that Carson Beck threw. You said the ESPN kept cutting to her?
Yes.
For a film star?
Yes.
I didn't see her, but only that one time, and now it's all over the internet. Them showing her. I didn't realize they kept cutting to her. They kept cutting to her, and they knew who was watching.
That's their audience.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's a lot of people watching college football, but they know who was watching, and good for her. She a graduate student, or is she just going to school there right now? Undergraduate.
I didn't know.
I should say.
She goes to school.
Oh yeah.
I thought she got a very different education.
Well, she's the one doing the teaching now. Apparently from some of the stuff I've seen recently. But is she? I don't know if she's an undergraduate or a graduate student. Either way, I mean, we all have our alum, and they have many famous alum, and she's one of the other famous ones. But it was interesting to see. Very interesting. And, we all want super fans, and she's certainly a super fan. Very fond, very free-spirited, that one. Anyway, Sam Monson joins us at 9 o'clock this morning. So you got the MKC thing in front of you, right, Mary Kay? What did she say about Jim Schwartz? This make some sense here.
Yeah, she wrote, quote, part of Schwartz's interview on Monday was to help determine how he might fit with the other candidates as defensive coordinator if he doesn't get promoted. The Browns would love Schwartz, 59, that's his age, to return for a fourth season as coordinator if they hire someone else to replace Kevin Stefanski to keep their dominant defense humming along. So
this is what's weird is, I can look at it as a fan and say, like, hey, I'm kind of interested in this Grant Udinski. I'm really interested in him. Young, 30 years old. I know he hasn't had a lot of experience here, but to me, it was a protection against Andrew Berry, and it's like, okay, right, if they don't have a great season next year, and I don't think they will, Andrew Berry, I think, is on the hot seat. Well, they're not just going to move on from both of them unless Grant Udinski goes out there and embarrasses himself. Jim Schwartz, though, this is like the second time I've heard this, and it feels like he's a bit of a fail-safe, and they're just telling him that you're the backup plan if they don't like any of these other candidates, which is an odd way to go about it because I want them, whoever they pick, I want them to feel passionately about whoever they pick because whoever they pick, there's going to be some passionate arguments. You can already see. It's based on philosophy. It's based on experience. It's based on what fans want out of the job. You can't just hire somebody and they're going to go, oh, okay, hunky-dory. Whoever they hire, there's going to be strong opinions about. So if they hire Jim Schwartz, I don't want the opinions about Jim Schwartz to be stronger on the air than they are from the Cleveland Browns. I don't want to go through this next year or the year after. I want to give this a good, solid effort with whoever they hire, Anthony. And it feels odd to me.
If I were him, if that is true, what Mary Kay wrote there, if I were him, that would come off very disrespectful. Like, I'm coming in to interview for a head coaching job, and you're already telling me, yeah, but can we interest you in working underneath a 30-year-old? Yeah, we're just going to give you a better title, a little more money.
What is his? He's still under contract for another year. Now, these things change. I mean, Bill Callahan was under contract. They let him out of his contract so he could work with his son, and now he's going to work with the Atlanta Falcons.
Especially, Kenny, he interviewed with one of our rivals to be the head coach. And now you're saying, hey, come in for a head coach interview. Let's talk turkey about you being an assistant to someone who's never done this before.
I think they probably feel very strongly that he's not going to get that job.
I'm sure they do, but even then, isn't that even more kind of disrespectful? Maybe he's comfortable in his own skin. Maybe he thinks he's probably never going to get a head coaching job anyway, and this is his last chance to interview. I don't know. I have no idea. Maybe he's thinking if Myles Garrett gets injured, then I'll never get looked at again.
Does it make you feel? Oh, well, I mean, yeah, but you have a lot of guys. So go ahead. Go ahead.
So I just am surprised if that's truly what that interview was about, just doing a fact-finding mission to see if he would work with one of these young guys who's never led a team before, never called plays before. I think that would leave a bad taste in my mouth. Now, money can always change that. that can always change things in a hurry. So maybe could they make him the highest paid assistant in football or something like that?
Let's be practical about it.
Now, that might be Josh McDaniels.
He could very well get very mad and just leave. He could get mad and just go, you know what, I don't care if I have a contract. I got enough money, to hell with you. I'll see you later. Like, he could try to do something like that. Or we could be pragmatic about it and go, listen, we really like this young man, but we see what the Rams have done. What the Rams did when Sean McVay took over, we'd like you to do the same thing. We'd like you to do what Wade Phillips did. Now, he could turn right around and go, Wade Phillips was in his early 70s when that went down, if I'm not mistaken. So you could say, or Wade Phillips was an older man. You're not going to put me out the pasture. I think that's a pretty significant spot to have to run basically the football team while the head coach goes over. I mean, it was different. It was certainly, now it's not that way anymore, but when they first did it, there was a lot of skepticism and a lot of questions about it. If the Browns had done it, the Browns would have been skewered, but the Rams even got it because people didn't think that highly of Stan Kroenke at the time, for crying out loud. So there's a lot of different similarities here that you would make up for it. If we're just going to be pragmatic about it and be professional about it, that could be the spot. I don't want Jim Schwartz to just turn into some fail-safe, like, I can't get a date, this idiot will call me, and I'll be able to go out on a date with this guy. Like, I don't want it to be that guy. I want them to have some passion behind whoever the hell that they hire. And it does feel at first blush that it feels a little bit disrespectful to me, I got to tell you. But then if we just push away our egos and say, hey, this is the scenario here. This is the scenario. We got a younger quarterback room. We got to make this happen no matter what. Even if we go out and we bring somebody in at the quarterback position, we got to look at this offensively. You've done a tremendous job with this defense. Can you work with this man, or are we going to have a problem? Like, that's basically how, we just have to be honest with each other.
Yeah, I also wonder how
it's not disrespect if I'm just being honest,
how
right?
How much have they, I'm just saying, somebody who's won a Super Bowl as defensive coordinator, somebody who's had some of the most dominating defenses, certainly the only reason you have any wins at all, it seems, over the last few years has been the defense. Mm-hmm. And you also don't want to anger like Myles Garrett or Denzel Ward.
No.
I don't know how they feel about Schwartz, but I imagine they feel really good. They've also played under other defensive coordinators, and it hasn't looked like this.
They've been put in a much better position with Jim Schwartz.
I just assumed all along they were mining as much information from Schwartz about what he saw that was right with the team, what he saw was wrong, because he's been a part of both. He's been on bad teams. He's been on good teams. He's been on Super Bowl champions. So this is kind of a reflective moment for everybody involved. Andrew Berry leading the coaching search along with Jimmy, D, JW to some extent. I'm curious what that must feel like if you're Jim Schwartz and you're being asked, hey, why are we bad? What is going on with this team? What do you think of Shedeur? You have a defense that goes up against these guys in practice. What do you think of Dylan Gabriel? What do you think of Deshaun Watson? He's been hovering around the building. What do you think of these other quarterbacks? What do you think of Grant Udinski? Would you like to work with, at some point, it's like, dude, guys, give me the job. Like, what are you doing asking me all these questions? And then what? Now does he get to interview with Grant Udinski? How does he know if he wants to work with Grant Udinski if he's never met the guy, or maybe he's just heard about him? Like, you understand what a tight, that's a tough needle to thread to both value his information.
You're right.
Want him to stay, but we don't want you as the head coach.
And from the outset, because of their history, like, I think that I'm already seeing on the phones, like, it's already going to lead people to question and get mad about it. Anytime I try to give them the benefit of the doubt, it ends up blowing up. 4 quarterbacks, it was unorthodox. Try to give them the benefit of the doubt, blows up. This, it would feel like it blows up because you want to say, like, listen, we value you, but we also value what this guy brings to the table. Can you work with this young man? Can you, as a 59-year-old defensive coordinator, grizzled, a guy who's won a Super Bowl as a defensive coordinator, can you work with this person, or is there going to be a problem? Now, that might turn into, he can't work with this guy, we can't hire him, what are we going to do? Or it turns into, you know what, damn the torpedoes, we're just going to get rid of Jim Schwartz if it comes down to loggerheads about that. Like, these are things I still don't know about. 100%, you're right. It is weird. It is weird to be asked about somebody else. It is weird to go into an interview and be asked about another one of the people that are being interviewed here. But these are weird jobs that you have a lot of different things about it. And I think the Browns right now are trying to be very careful because I think they're trying to tippy-toe around having to do a full-on rebuild. So the next hire that they make, yes, could end up being a great hire, could end up being disastrous. Like, I there's a lot of things that I think excite me over reading about Grant Udinski over the last year, or over the last week, I should say. But if he goes out there and he doesn't know his ass from a hole in the ground when it comes to being a head coach, and he'll be thrown into that fire very quickly because you know how the fan base is here, you know how the media is here. He'll be thrown into that very quickly. So if he all of a sudden doesn't know where he's going, now all of a sudden you are looking at a full rebuild because the players aren't put in the right position. Then you have a question of how good the draft class is. Like, there's a lot here that can topple. And Jim Schwartz is a guy that you value his experience, you value his smarts.